Okay, so this is my iPhone 12 review. So I'm gonna start off with the too long, didn't watch, and tell you everything you need to know about the phone in the first 1 minute or 2 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes of this video. So if you have a iPhone 6, 7, 8, or the first 10s that came out, this could be a very good upgrade for you. You haven't upgraded in quite a few years. So with this phone, you get 5G, you get the newer design, and maybe you're upgrading from a 5, so you get the same design. And this could be a great upgrade for you. Good cameras, decent battery life, and I think most people who are upgrading from any of those phones would be very happy with this. Now, if you come from the XS, the 11 Pro, or the 11 Pro Max, this is a sideways move. In some aspects, yeah, you know, spec-wise, you can talk about it being an upgrade, but in reality, it is a bit of a sideways move. You're not seeing huge jumps. Phones, I know Marques Brownlee says it, we're reaching peak phone maybe. Maybe we are. And with the upgrade this year, I wouldn't say there's been a massive upgrade from the XS or the 11 Pro and 11 Pro Maxes. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't upgrade, but it's something you have to consider more. Now, if you're trying to decide between the 12 or the 12 Pro, that's where things get a bit tricky. Because to be honest, I think for most people, the 12 is the better choice. It's definitely more value, it's better battery life, the camera is comparable. In some instances, you might actually prefer the picture on the 12. So with that being said, it's a tough one. I would personally go with the 12. I mentioned people who haven't upgraded in a long time, the 12 could be the perfect phone for you. So for people who haven't upgraded in a long time, the 12 is a good choice. Now, if you're like me, you want to upgrade every year, then the truth is you're probably just watching this video for information and validation. So for all of you, and then for everybody else, welcome to the review. So let's talk about the design. Now, of course, aesthetic wise, everyone's gonna have their own opinion on this, but my personal opinion is, I think this is a good looking phone. They've obviously gone back to the 5S look, and some people thought that was the best design. For me, I didn't really have any particular strong feelings towards it either way, but I do enjoy this design. In terms of how it feels in the hand, for me, it feels very solid. Flat sides obviously make it easier to grip. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, these are kind of marginal gains, but it does make it easier to grip. So for the materials, it has the aluminum band. I think some people will actually prefer this aluminum band to the stainless steel of the 12 Pros. Now, you know, the stainless steel is gonna make the phones heavier. Aluminum is much lighter. And it's a softer metal, but you know, it is used on airplanes too, so it's not like a cheap metal for sure. And yeah, I mean, for me, you know, it is what it is. So the American version has a little patch which is meant to be for 5G networking or something. Now in the UK, we have a kind of small logo. I think it's basically telling you how to, or basically telling you you shouldn't just dispose of the phone by just throwing it away in a normal bin or trash can. So yeah, it's a bit unsightly, but it's worth mentioning. Now let's talk about the cameras. Now it has a wide lens and it has the ultra wide lens. Now it doesn't have that telephoto that is in the 12, and for some people that's a deal breaker. For a lot of people, maybe you don't really care. In terms of normal point and shoot, it's an iPhone, and we're used to good cameras now on basically every phone, and this definitely doesn't disappoint. I would say that in terms of how it compares to the Pro and even the previous Pros, it's a little bit more saturated to me, a little bit more vibrant, but in terms of video, again, still really vibrant as well with the video, but the stabilization on all these phones, the 12 and the 12 Pro, has been amazing. So performance. Now this is where it doesn't get interesting. I can't lie. Honestly, the performance is very, very strong. It's very similar to the 11 Pro, and even it's very similar to the 10R I used a couple years ago. So this is the thing, and this is why I said in the beginning of the video about whether you should upgrade or not. And if you're expecting a huge performance boost, just like earth-shattering, you're gonna be so disappointed, in my opinion, because unless, like I said, you're going from the 6, 7, 8, and the first 10, performance-wise, iOS runs so well on even the older phones that if you're looking for big jumps in software performance, I think you'll be a little bit disappointed. And this also kind of refers back to the difference between this and the Pro. This and the Pro feel identical. There is not too much difference in performance. Actually, that's a lie. There is no difference in performance day to day. I know the Pros do have more RAM, but honestly, even Apple doesn't talk about the RAM. That's how insignificant it is. That's why for power, the 12 is on par with the 12 Pro, and it still probably will be with the 12 Pro Max when that comes out. So, MagSafe. This is something that obviously has a lot of potential for the future. At launch, currently, I would say I am more on the disappointed side because Apple's first party stuff that they're offering, yeah. I mean, the charger's overpriced. Don't at me, the charger is overpriced. And then if you look at the wallet thing that they're selling, I mean, surely somebody could have just seen the tragedy that would bring to people. I mean, the wallet's in the back. You put your phone in your pocket, wallet slips out, you lost your wallet. Come on, Apple, come on. That being said, I do think MagSafe has tremendous potential, and I've seen companies like Moment who have like basically got this line of camera accessories for the iPhone ready to go, and I know third parties are really gonna be very creative and create some amazing stuff with this. So that, I think we have a lot to look forward to in 2021, but in terms of what Apple's doing first party, straight out the gate, it's not for me. So let's talk about value. Is this good value? See, it's difficult because now Apple has this iPhone lineup that goes straight across the board in terms of basically what people can afford. So the 11s look very tempting, especially on the used market. You still have the 10R, you still have the SE that just came out. And you know, all these phones are gonna run good on iOS. So some of the differentiating factors are the screens and things like RAM and things like cameras. So in terms of where this sits, I think it's just about priced okay. It could be a little bit cheaper for what it is, but just about priced okay. When you put it next to the 12 Pro, it looks like a really good deal, right? Because it's basically the same phone as the 12 Pro. It's identical. It lacks the extra lens, and I mean, honestly, that's about it. It's just the extra lens. So when it comes to looking at the value in comparison to the 12 Pro, it looks really good value at $799. But the problem is, depending on which iPhone you're coming from, you might be tempted at getting something, maybe 11, 10R, SE, just depending on what you want, you know? Because in a way, this 12 feels like a Pro in relation when you compare it to the rest of the line below it. Obviously there's 12 Pro, but the problem is the Pros at the moment don't seem so Pro. You know, with the 12 Pro having less battery life than the 12, not Pro. So value-wise, it's gonna be up to you guys to determine. I think the value in terms of the pricing is set at a decent level, but not amazing. Is this actually worth the upgrade? Now, I say upgrade because I'm assuming you have a phone, iPhone 7, 8, 6, whatever. I'm assuming that's people who are looking at this phone. Is it worth an upgrade? Like I said in the beginning of the video, I think if your iPhone 6, 7, 8, 9, not 9, if your iPhone 6, 7, 8, or the 10, why not? I think this could be a good upgrade. But if you have any of the iPhone 11s, even the regular 11, I know this has the upgraded screen. Probably if you have been using the iPhone 11 all this time already, you probably would have been used to that liquid Retina display. And I think you'd probably be accustomed to it, and you're not gonna see a massive difference. Well, unless it's side by side, you can't even tell the difference between those two screens. So if you have an 11, definitely 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, don't touch the 12, that's a downgrade. And if you have an 11, you should skip this, in my opinion. I mean, if you just want the latest and greatest, you're really infatuated by the new design, the flat edges, and 5G, if you got that coverage, maybe you can think about it. But if you have any of the 11s, I would say skip this. And as I said, if you have older iPhones, then this could be a really, really good upgrade for you. You're gonna see, it's gonna feel like, you know, like I say a brand new phone, but you know, like a brand new phone. And the reason why I say that is because using the 11 Pro Max and the 12, you know, side by side, it doesn't feel new. It just kind of feels, it almost feels like this has gone backwards a generation, the 12, when you compare it to 11 Pro Max. Because to be honest, the 11 Pro Max is that good. It is that good. And as I was saying, this is the crucial one. So let's say you have iPhone, you have either 6, 7, 8, or the first version of the 10. You might be trying to decide which iPhone 12 should I buy. 12, 12 Pro, Max isn't out yet, but let's say 12, 12 Pro. Go with the 12. I know it's 64 gig, and I know 128 will take you to almost $900, 900 pounds. But okay, this is the thing. If you do need the extra memory, go with the Pro, because it's only $100 more. Just go with the Pro. But if you don't need the extra memory, just stick with the 12, because it's basically the same phone as the 12 Pro for less price. It's lighter and more colors. I don't know if they're better colors, but there are more colors. And you know, honestly, if money is no object, of course, just buy what you want, of course. But honestly, this year the 12 is very, very compelling. And if you're thinking you're gonna get way more by getting the 12 Pro, that's not the case this year. The 12 and the 12 Pro are very similar. Maybe Apple was thinking if they added the 120 Hz screen to the 12 Pro, that would have actually made it Pro. But that unfortunately couldn't be shipped with these models. You know, Apple, I don't know if they messed it up. It was in the plans, but they couldn't ship it. And you know, in the end, they didn't get the 120 Hz screen on the 12 Pro. So basically the 12 and the 12 Pro are so similar that honestly, if you don't need a space, just get the 12 and be happy with life. You have better battery life, comparable cameras, great video, amazing stabilization on that video, and you would really enjoy your phone, you know? So that was my review. The road to 1,000 subscribers continues. So if you liked what you saw, if you want to see more, I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max coming next week. I have the iPhone 12 Pro review coming very soon. iPhone 12 mini, that's coming soon too. I'll do a big comparison of all of them. So if you want to see any of that, please stick around. Like I said, the road to 1,000 continues. Like this video. If you have any questions, hit me in the comment section. I answer all questions. And thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.